Looking at BTC from last night, it looks like you came right down to the point 0.5 and bounced off of it. We are back in the green box, which is a really good sign. Still have this 41.5. This 41.5, I cannot stress it enough, in my opinion at least, is the must hold area. You can see the moving averages plus the 618. Again, we are back in the green box, so that's a good sign. Now, the biggest thing here is these moving averages have officially crossed. So if you zoom in like this, we were looking at it in the Discord last night, the 50-day moving average has crossed over the 100-day moving average, which was yesterday. So is that the bottom? I mean, in my opinion, I think I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of moving averages, and for those of you that have been here for a while, I've kind of deleted them. Like I've used them in the past when I first started my channel, and then I got rid of them because they stopped working. And this is another time where, listen, this is considered a golden cross, so we really should move up from here. You know why? Because just like back here, when the yellow crossed below the blue, we moved down right after that. So if you want to argue, the cross happened right here, and we had a spike to the upside and then reverse to the downside for the bearish cross. You can make the same argument here. We crossed over for the golden cross. We had the sell-off, and we should really be pushing up from here if this is going to make any indication or have any indication of where we're at. We have held the yellow, which is the 50-day moving average, as support twice, which is a good sign, and that's why I have it down here. That's the worst case scenario for me, that it has to hold or we're not bullish at all. So I'd like to think that this is the bottom, just for the simple fact that that golden cross is going to play out. If it doesn't play out and this falls off the table, so be it. Never looking at it ever again. Um, I know that's a little harsh, but what's the point of spending time on something if it works half the time? Looking at the 4 hour, we are back in the gold or in the green box. So I would say over 44.1, we would probably see a massive move to the upside. Some of these altcoins are getting bought up, but as of now, you know, we can't we can't really say anything until we get over this 44.1. So a break over 44.1, I think, would be a huge move to the upside. Now, what's really interesting is the ES futures are not moving. That's the really big thing for me. So I'm really not leaning towards bearish still. I'm still super bullish. I think this was just another correction. This we've had this here for I don't know how many days. We're still holding the green box. I would say ES below 444, then we're talking real bearish news, because if the ES is dropping along with SPY, then I don't have if the ES is dropping with Bitcoin, I really don't have a bullish argument here. Um, but there's really nothing that I can really say. I mean, again, you're at the point 0.5. This is a more clear chart without all the bullshit that I have on it. Again, golden cross is at 41.6, 618's at 41.6, uptrends at 41.6, depending on when it happens. And this 48K range is just, as I highlighted yesterday, there's just so much resistance up here. You have the 200-day moving average. You have the 48K 786 right up here, right? So there's just so much resistance up there that, in my opinion, if when we do break through this, because I do think we do, you're just going to get a big ass candle up here, probably right up to 52,000. Might even be 51, but I think once you break through this red box, a lot of coins are going to basically have the move that they had back here. Because remember, we kept saying 44.8's the price to break. Once we broke through that, the altcoins blasted off. I think you're going to get the same thing again once you get through 48,000. So I do think it happens. Now, another thing interesting here is this green line. Someone highlighted the Bitcoin conference ends on the green line. So once we get out of this, you know, a move up, I would expect it to have a move up if it's going to play any type of part, because it would be like sell the rumor, buy the news, just like yesterday was the Fed announcement, and we bottomed on the Fed day. So that really should be the bottom if we're going to have any type of bullish continuation for April. If it's not, then April's not going to be bullish, and obviously that was another bogus call. It's still too early. It's only April 7th, but if we fall below 41.5 at any point in time, in my opinion, I just think it's bearish. The MACD is now flipping light red, which is a really good sign. From last night, it was dark red, and then After last night's video, I said it was red, and then we actually did make a new low at 42.8, but we really want to see these start flipping green for a bounce to the upside. The reason this is such a big deal is because if these oscillators start turning red on the shorter time frame, then the weekly one starts getting affected as well. So the biggest thing I'm watching today is obviously Bitcoin, but also the ES. You can see ES is holding the 50 weekly moving average perfectly, or I guess it's a little over it, but it's still over it, which is why I have the green box here. We really need to see a move to the upside basically this week, in my opinion. Another thing, Bitcoin dominance was rallying. I think that's a good sign. I don't personally believe that altcoins ripping is bullish for Bitcoin. I really think we need to see a move to the upside on the Bitcoin dominance. Looking at the 10-year, which is actually interesting because when the 10-year rallies, Bitcoin rallies, and the 10-year hit the 786 from top in 2018 to this big ass wick in 2020, we smacked right into the 786. So this is going to be something that I'm watching as well because Bitcoin has gotten stuck, but the 10-year has been rallying. Well, Bitcoin got stuck here basically, so there really should be another push to the upside. But that's pretty much it. Nothing has really changed overall. I don't really have to draw anything. In my opinion, again, like what I started the video with, I'm going to continue going back to this. It makes sense for us to move up from here because just as we moved to the downside after spike, so we spiked up and then we took a shit, I think we just spiked down and we really should move up from here if these moving averages are going to have any type of argument or for being used at all. Because I said it last night, you know, if you invert it, it's the same thing. You come down, break over to yellow, break over to blue, get stuck at the 200-day, which is the white. You have a bounce off, and then you break through. We just came down, broke through the yellow, broke through the blue, came down to the white, bounced off, and we really should break through if it's going to have any type of, like I said, use case, for lack of better terms. So that's pretty much it. Best of luck. As always, it's just my opinion. None of this is financial advice. You always have to do what's best for you. I would say a break over 44.1 would start signaling a bull move. But until then, we might even just tag it, come back down one more time, do something like this. And then obviously if we sweep this low again, 41.5 is going to be the area to watch. So this is what I have on my radar. Anything lower than this and we're done. So best of luck. Just like like I said, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion. And best of luck.